I just wanted to document some of the fishing equipment I'm taking on this trip to South America, where I'll be flying into Manaus, getting on a plane, a float plane, flying out, getting on a mothership, and doing a 10-day fishing trip down the Amazon. In a prior video, I showed a recurve bow setup that I'm going to be using for bow fishing. That is a Titan from Tradtech with the Black Magic carbon limbs on it, with an AMS fishing reel. That whole package is in this duffel bag right now. So basically what you're seeing is everything I'm going with. I can only have about, I think it's 42 pounds total weight. So to get into the fishing gear, what I'm taking, and this is going to be a mix of peacock and whatever else I can get into. I always, coming from a big saltwater background, my Van Staal titanium pliers have just been a constant for me. These are probably 10, 12 years old. It improves if you buy quality. It lasts. These pliers have pulled hooks out of everything from tuna to marlin to, can't tell you all the different kind of bass species, from striper to smallmouth to largest. I carry that in a basic, almost like a work belt type setup. Every morning I grab this, I throw it around my waist. This has my pliers, and it has a very nice, again, everything's online so I don't lose stuff in the drink. Just a very nice marine style knife, very rust, I wouldn't say nothing's rust proof, but it's very anti-corrosive. It has a marlin spike. Anytime I'm working on boats, and this boat I'm going to be on, I will be on for 10 days. I love marlin spikes to get in, pry knots off on dock lines. Marlin spikes do work really well. If you're dealing with a lot of ropes and tight knots, they can really help out. So it's basically all my tools I carry on a simple belt. Always have done that. We'll get into the rods, but another thing that's always been a big boga grips. This one, of course, is a scale. I clip this right under the pliers on my belt. They hang there. It's always there when I need it. Boga grips are just a lot of situations where you could get a hook in the hand. These kind of really help out with big fish that with treble hooks struggling around. Get into the rods. I'm going to be doing a mix of spinning, casting, and fly fishing. So I have a little bit of everything. We'll go through the conventional stuff first. The primary rod I'm probably going to be throwing for these fish is one of the new Lamaglass, Infinity series with a Abu Garcia Revo Toro saltwater series. This is a 60 series. It's a bit large, but again, it balances really well with this rod package. You can see it's not too heavy in the back. These new Infinity Lamaglass rods I'm very impressed with. I've done a little bit of fishing local with them, caught some striper and some smallies, and I really like them. Again, it's a medium heavy rod. I'll be fishing 50-pound braid on this. This will probably be my primary rod that I'll be using to throw all the big buzz baits and wood choppers and stuff like that. The second bait caster that I'll be taking is a Kistler Helium. I like Kistler rods. I've had some good luck with them. They seem to break a little easy at times. Again, this is an Abu Garcia 50 series saltwater Revo Toro. That again is just a great reel. This is a very light setup. It should be something you can throw pretty much all day. Again, in medium heavy also. Moving to my spinning rods. Primary spinning rod. I just got this rod and I caught a decent little striper down on the river with it. Just really liking this rod. It's the new Lamberglass Infinity Series again. This one is a line class from 8 to 17. It's a 7-foot rod. It's got some tip to it, but really just it definitely has some backbone. I've teamed it with the new Daiwa. This is the Ballistic EX. It's basically a carbon carbon frame. They call it something different, but it's basically a carbon frame with magnetic oil in it. This is a 3000 series, just super smooth. I'm really impressed, especially for the price of this reel. It really seems like a nice reel, and this package really balances super nice. Real light. Days when you have to throw a lot, this rod I'm really pleased with thus far, and it probably can end up using this a ton. My backup spinner is a Kistler Magnesium TS. This rod I used to use a ton for throwing tubes for big smallmouth up on the Susquehanna. This rod is rated, I think it's 8 to 17 also. Gotta find the line hitting on it. It's paired with my favorite reel of all time, a Shimano Stella. If you've never played with the Stellas, they're just a really nice smooth reel. They are expensive, but this is probably the lightest package I'm taking. And again, you know, it's more, I'm only gonna take one bait caster, one spinning rod, and probably 1 or 2 fly rods every day out fishing. Some of the rods are for backup. You're gonna break rods down there, they say. And reels are always interchangeable. So that's my lightest spinning setup. Now we'll move into the fly rods. We'll start with the lightest and work our way up to the heaviest. Here's an old Loomis GL4, not a very expensive rod, but I've caught a ton of bass on this rod, ton of stripers on it, Van Staal reel. Again, I'm a big fan of Van Staal stuff. They've really just held up in heavy saltwater applications for me. They're definitely overbuilt, but they always seem to really hold up. Right now, this has got a 10-foot sink tip on it, and probably just, again, an extra fly rod. The next rod is one of the Temple Creek Outfitters. It's a TICRX. It's an 8-weight, 9-foot rod. And if you've ever fished these rods, again, not super expensive rods, but actually it feels a lot more like a 9-weight than it does an 8-weight. This I'm teamed with a Nautilus reel. Again, a lot of my stuff, this has caught some stripers too. A lot of my stuff is from a saltwater background, because that's what I have. But Nautilus makes a great reel. I have 2 arbors for this reel, so I'll be seeing what I'm throwing on this. And my heavy rod is a 10-weight Predator. Again, not an expensive rod, but I like the way this rod feels. It seems to throw big bugs and big nasties pretty well. It's teamed with a Lamson Lightspeed. Just I like it. A large arbor reel, picks up reel. This is my primary striper rod from the boat, and I pulled a bunch of stripers out from under bridges with this rod. It's got a lot of backbone. It's good at throwing big flies, and you're probably going to see me use this reel and rod when it comes to fly rods probably the most. Again, any of these reels, when I switch the line, will go on this rod, but I like the big arbor on this to pick up line quick. So basically, that's my fishing rod selection for the trip. I appreciate you looking, and hopefully I'll have a lot of cool video from the Amazon in a couple weeks. Thanks.